are Laura, Mariscal, Claudio, Malo, and the University of Guayaquil. We would like to thank you for this opportunity to present our research in this event. We would like to share with the audience our research related to engaging rural students' reading and listening skills through augmented reality. Some background about this project. This is part of a project in our Faculty of Philosophy and Education. And the purpose of this big project is to design digital content through the use of augmented reality to implement in ELT classes. And more specific, the objective of this project that we're going to present in this event is related to the design of interactive content for ELT instruction that was conducted in a rural school. What about the reading habits background in Ecuador? Part of the information that we have is related to know that 5 out of 10 Ecuadorians read between 1 to 2 weekly hours. And then we also have national plan called the Reading Plan, which was founded in 2013, which had this idea of publication of 200 new books till 2021. However, the results of the last PISA exams, we were ranked in this level 2, so students can understand simple text. And after the pandemic, the educational system was forced to these online classes, with the result in the English language teaching instruction that was these teaching hours were reduced, and they needed to use these free printed materials, especially in the areas that were considered rural in our country.
Had an experimental research, and we applied it to one group with a pre and a post-test design, which was done by one of the researchers. The sample of this study is 30 students of this school, and their levels A1.1 and A1.2. In the instruments, as it was mentioned before, we have a pre-test and also we have a post-test. The idea was to measure the efficacy of the reading skills and also the listening skills of these students, which really need to develop these skills after the pandemic. In the intervention, we gave them 5 reading texts. They were according to their level, according to their interests, and things that we previously asked if they like. In terms of the pre and post test, it was analyzed by using ANOVA, and also to measure the experience of the students in this study, we have a focus group with some students which were asked about the use of these devices, how they felt, how interactive was it in the classroom, using some markers that Dr. Castillo is going to explain you later. And also in terms of listening to audio readings, which is something very innovative. And also some vowel sounds and the feedback that they receive after it.
Like I mentioned before, this is part of a project in our faculty. So there is a group of academic researchers and also a group of technological researchers. So this other group was the one who designed this prototype, which was created by using this platform Unity, and then they transformed this augmented reality into this program called Euphoria. There on top of the screen, you can see how this application looks like in the interface of a phone. So this is a prototype trial that was implemented first for university students who had these Android users, who were these Android users of these versions high or higher. So this is a friendly prototype for those phones that are part of the majority of the population, especially here in Ecuador. So to bring augmented reality into action, the printed materials had these icons and these markers. So through the markers, students could use the camera of their phones so they could have access to this augmented reality design that, like I said, was worked in partnership with the researchers of the study and with us and our own students as part of the content creators for this project. The prototype is friendly to be shared through WhatsApp. The link is at the end, so I will provide you the access to this trial that for the moment was not available for iOS users. So how did it work with the designs of what we were implementing in that school? We had this reading process through these pre-written tasks. So students had in the printed material, they had these 6 words to activate their previous knowledge, and then they could also have these pictures. So through the pictures, students were able to match the meaning of these words with the words that were printed in the on the paper. So that is a way that we could interact between the letters that were printed on the paper and the image that was shared through the augmented reality in their phones. So after this exercise was successfully done, then we could continue with another pre-written task where students, again, they needed to use their phones so they could have access to infer, to predict what the reading was about, to help them with some key vocabulary needed for the other activities. And like I said, the purpose was to reinforce reading and also the listening skills as well. What about listening? Well, while reading the information that they have, reading the story, they also have this icon, this marker on top. So through the phone, they were able to activate the audio. The audio of these stories was got in by these researchers because some of us used our voice to record these stories. So students were able to hear the stories while they were reading. So we had this reading and listening at the same time, so they could have the experience of reading and, more importantly, reading without being interrupted by an unknown word because they were following the reading with the help of their listening skills. So there you have information about these reading passages. There's one of them was by one of the students that was contributing on the study, and the other one was a free resource that we found on the internet. So we clarify the text type, the words, the lexile that could be used for this level of proficiency. In terms of a in terms of a post-reading task, we had different questions. And again, they had this marker to activate the augmented reality to conduct these or to finish this exercise by using augmented reality and being able to select the right answer. Then they could use their phones also to listen to the pronunciation of certain words that were used during the reading passage. So then they could practice or they could reinforce this initial, middle, or final sounds of these key terms that were parts of the vocabulary of the reading passage. So in the end, we had these exercises about how could they really infer what they were reading, how through the use of technology, they could have access to the complemented features that could help them with their reading and listening skills.
Okay, regarding the feedback, as all we know, is an essential part of the teaching and learning process. In this project, feedback was also implied in the mobile application. All the students who had right answers, they would receive a message, as you can see in the screen, saying a great job. However, if someone had a wrong answer, they will see immediately that answer like says in the screen. So it was a positive thing to apply this mobile application in the sense that students will be always knowing what they are doing, if they are doing right or if they are doing wrong. Well, the results, the key findings that we have emerged from this analysis, it is shown in this graph, which reflects a comparison between the pre-test that it was applied and with the post-test that later on also was applied. The outcomes obtained through this analysis showed a significant positive effect, as you can see in the numbers there, that it went from 7.6 to 8.6, which is something interesting to find out. Also, this result shows that the increasing number of marks is really important because the reading session was improved, basically. And as it was stated before, implementing this augmented reality during all the stages of the reading process will basically help students to feel more confident and to be more receptive when using the language in different contexts. Regarding the focus group that it was mentioned in the methodology part, they were asked 3 questions to 5 students who randomly were selected. Regarding the questions that were related to the use of devices in and out of class, it's worth mentioning that in our schools here in Ecuador, basically students are not allowed to use phones in the class. So in order to achieve our objective of using mobiles in the phone, it was necessary to obtain permissions from their parents so they can use it at school. In the second question related to their use of AR in the class, it was a totally new experience for these students. And it was something very positive because they explored their curiosity by using this kind of, let's say, innovative projects. Also, the students confirmed that one of the most attractive features used in augmented reality markers were related to the audio readings. It was something positive to hear, like, I'm improving my English because I could hear what I was trying to read. So that was something really important that it showed us that augmented reality, use it properly in the teaching and learning process, can be very effective. And finally, these questions, or in this focus group, students were really satisfied, and they were able to improve, at least in some point, their English abilities.
Regarding the 2 questions that we had in this project, to what extent does this augmented reality influence the reading process in the English language teaching? We could clearly see that this implementation provoked this engagement and in the influence of getting these receptive skills more present in classes. So this is a positive way to also implement technology, and that is one of my answers regarding the second question: what benefits do these stages of the reading process have with the use of technology? Well, these stages are more visible. Students can go back using this tool, so they can reinforce, they can have this positive feedback, immediate feedback. So we have this release of responsibility on the teacher. And also, and more importantly, we are also taking care of this gap that we can have regarding rural education, and which we could see that if we do not take care of this gap, then this will be more visible in the future.
Well, the recommendations that our team might conclude is that, first of all, we must check storage capacity in our device. I think it's an important fact that we have to take into account, because it's crucial to check the capacity in the devices to ensure that all the educational materials can be there. Second, we must encourage the use of open educational resources, because this can significantly enrich learning experiences. Another really important recommendation is that we must promote extensive reading through augmented reality, because this is a way to foster a dynamic and engaging environment for the students. Furthermore, efforts should be directed towards boosting English language learning in rural schools, addressing disparities and providing equal opportunities for them. Emphasizing diverse techniques for listening as a soft skill can further enhance, of course, English acquisition. And I think that this is the most important recommendation. It is essential to communicate with teachers, students, and parents that play is not only related to having fun. Play is an opportunity for increasing language acquisition. So it's not just as a play related to something that it has to do outside from education. It's inherent to educational value, and it fosters creativity and, of course, cognitive development.
we would like to hear with our audience is these links where you can download this prototype, so you can also have this installed in your devices, and then you can see how you can interact through accessing the second link, where you can find one of the reading passages that was implemented in this study. So then you can have like both materials there, so you can also have the experience of what we did with this in this rural school. So on behalf of Laura Mariscal, Claudio Toledo, and myself, we would like to thank the participants for being here, and we will be very happy to answer any of your questions. Our emails are there. So thank you very much for this opportunity, and we're going to be here for further information as well. Thank you.